What if everything you remember is a lie? What if the moments you treasure, the events you regret, the people you love are not stored in your mind as they truly happened, but as shifting, fragile illusions shaped by time, emotion, and imagination? If memory is the bridge between our past and our present, what happens when that bridge is built on unstable ground? We think of memory as a recording, an unchangeable archive where the truth of our lives is safely kept. But the truth is stranger and perhaps more unsettling. Neuroscience tells us that every time we recall a memory, we are not simply replaying it, we are rebuilding it. And in the process, we may be changing it, subtly or dramatically, without even realizing it. This means that our most cherished recollections, the ones that define who we think we are, may be distorted versions of reality. Sometimes, they may even be entirely false. And if that's true, what does it mean for our identity, our relationships, our understanding of the world? Imagine a glass of water placed in the open air. Over time, dust, particles, and subtle impurities change its clarity. You might still call it the same glass of water, but is it really? That's what happens to memory. It is not static, it is living, breathing, evolving. Sometimes it fades because details dissolve into the fog of time. Other times, it changes because emotions, joy, anger, grief, reshape the story we tell ourselves about what happened. Memory is not a camera, it's a painter. And sometimes the painter takes artistic liberties. Modern psychology shows that memories can be planted, altered, or even fabricated entirely. In experiments, researchers have convinced people that they had experiences that never happened, and the subjects recalled them in vivid, emotional detail. This isn't just a curiosity. It means that even your most certain memories, the ones you'd swear in court were true, may not have occurred exactly as you think. And here's the deeper mystery. If memory is unreliable, does that mean the self, the person you believe yourself to be, is also unstable? In mysticism, memory has long been seen as both a blessing and a trap. It connects us to our past, but it can also chain us there. Some spiritual traditions teach that clinging to memory is like trying to live in yesterday's sunset, beautiful, yes, but gone. They remind us that our true essence is not in the stories we remember, but in the awareness that exists here and now. If our memories are illusions, then perhaps our identity is not a fixed, unchanging object, but a flowing river. The water you touch today is not the water that was there yesterday. It's easy to think of false memory as a flaw, but in some cases, it's a gift. The mind sometimes changes memories to protect us, softening trauma, altering unbearable details, or reframing events so we can keep living without breaking. This is not deception in the cruel sense, but in the compassionate sense, the way a parent might tell a child a gentler version of a hard truth. It raises a profound possibility. Maybe the purpose of memory is not to record reality perfectly, but to create a version of the past that helps us survive the present. But there's a shadow to this. When we cling to our memories as the absolute truth, we risk building our entire life on a distorted foundation. Conflicts between people often arise because each person remembers the same event differently, and each is convinced their version is correct. This is not just stubbornness, it's biology. Our brains literally rewrite the past and then convince us the rewrite is the original script. Recognizing this doesn't mean abandoning trust in our minds, but it does mean holding our memories lightly, with humility. Beyond the personal, there is the idea of collective memory, the shared stories of cultures, nations, and humanity as a whole. These two are malleable. History is often rewritten by those who hold power, reshaping the collective past to control the collective future. Just as personal memory shapes our identity, collective memory shapes the identity of civilizations. And just as with personal memory, it may be more myth than fact. Here lies a mystical thought. Perhaps the truth of memory is not in the accuracy of its details, but in the meaning it creates for us. So here's my question for you. If you knew that some of your most vivid memories were false, how would that change the way you see yourself? Would you feel lost, or would you feel free? And more importantly, would you rather know the truth, even if it shattered the story of who you think you are? Share your reflections in the comments. Tell me about a time when you realized a memory you trusted was wrong, and what that revelation taught you. In the end, maybe memory is not a perfect record, but a living story we tell ourselves. And maybe the goal is not to cling to the story as unchanging truth, but to recognize T for what it is, a lens, not a mirror. The past may be fluid, but the present is real. Right now, in this breath, you are more than the sum of your memories. You are awareness itself, vast, unbound, and capable of seeing beyond the illusions of the mind. So is memory truth or a trick? Perhaps it is both. But here's the real magic. You are not your memories. You are the storyteller, and you have the power to choose the meaning they hold. Subscribe to my newsletter if you want to keep exploring the mysteries of mind and reality. Together, we'll walk the path where science meets spirit, not to escape the illusions, but to see through them, and to find the truth that waits beyond.